The Agenda is powered by DART, Delaware's transit service, moving forward.
Kerwin Gaines here, host of The Agenda. We are back. We are back. We're excited to see you. We're excited to hear your comments and get your feedback. Thank you so much for watching and continuing to ensure that your issues stay right on the agenda. So we're thankful that you're here. This season has been great. With politics are just fired away, and we are moving forward, and we're talking to as many politicians and those seeking office, those seeking re-election, and those seeking to get their agenda across during this election season. And we are doing that again tonight, right? So tonight we are welcoming Ms. Bregetta Fields, the 5th District representative, city council person for the city of Wilmington. Thank you so much, and first-time guest right here on The Agenda.
Thank you so much, Kerwin, for having me. I really appreciate it.
No problem. I think y'all, she was avoiding me, but now you can't avoid me anymore.
This is not true.
No, definitely not true. Thank you so much for coming on. Most of the time, I always tell people, well, you may not know this person. This is your representative. You may not know this person. Everybody knows who you are, especially those in your district.
Yes.
How long have you been a council person for your district now?
4 years.
4 years.
4 years. Yes.
So that was right around 2020.
Yes.
The pandemic.
Yes.
What else was going on that made you say, I need to do this?
Well, let's go back to even before then. I was in graduate school working on my master's, and I had a second job, and that was community engagement. It was through interfaith housing. And I was to go to all the different civic association meetings to find out what the community needed. And I knew for me, because I have connections through the city, or, I knew people, I could get calls done.
You know a lot of people now.
I do know a lot of people.
Okay.
So I could get some things done for me and my neighborhood. But when I seen the concern of every neighborhood in the 5th District and how they couldn't get the answers that they needed, I said, this is what I need to do. Because we need a person in there that's going to be the constituent services person, as well as that person that can pass ordinances and legislation that is going to benefit not just the 5th District, but the entire city of Wilmington, but focusing on what we need in the 5th District.
So tell me a little bit about what the 5th District covers for those that don't live in the area per se. Mm-hmm. I know some of that is Hilltop. Some of that is the Trinity vicinity. Where else?
Okay, so the 5th District is what I call the hole in the donut.
Okay.
It's the hole in the donut because at the bottom of us, you have Market Street, right? On the right-hand side of us, you have Delaware Avenue. Above us, you have Union Street. And on the right side of us, you have the riverfront. So we have all of these thriving businesses, downtown districts and businesses. However, we're the hole in the donut. So we're mostly comprised of homes, rental properties. We have a couple of stores here and there, but it's mostly homes and parks. So it is West Center City, a little bit of Trinity vicinity. Then we have Quaker Hill. We have Cool Spring, Tilton Park, Tupelo, Italy, and the Lower Hilltop.
Okay. So that's a lot of area.
Yes, it is.
And when you mentioned Little Italy and Trinity, those are different cultural centers throughout the city. The diversity there is great, and you somehow have to encompass all of these issues from different standpoints and make sure that they're feeling represented.
Absolutely.
How's that going?
When I first got in office, I had to think about it strategically, right? So I know I live in West Center City. So our concerns may be a little different than the ones in the Lower Hilltop. Mm-hmm. And the Lower Hilltop is different than the ones in Tilton Park or Cool Springs and Little Italy. I just got Trinity vicinity, I'll say, in the new districting. But it's still a part of West Center City, so I kind of know what it's going on. So let's say for the Lower Hilltop, right? We know that it's a lot of vacant homes. We know that we have a lot of Latino population there. A few parks, right? But we're dealing with that population. Then when you go to Tilton Park, you know, that's a whole different, that's the older people with the larger homes, the front yards. And then you go to Cool Springs, that's another demographic as well. And it's changing as time is changing. And then Little Italy has its own thing. But what you have to do is you really have to be a people's person. And I know for me, I've never met a stranger. Right?
I would concur.
So for me, it's just basically trying to get to know the people and let the people know who you are. I'll say, you know, and a lot of people say, I'm very authentic. You know, what you see is what you get from me. I don't see a need to use $100,000 words because sometimes I don't even understand them. So, you know, it's just me being who I am and being able to relate to different people. I have to say, you know, I was raised in Germany, right? So, you know, it's just being able to just kind of relate and kind of deal with things. I went to a West Presbyterian church when I was younger. That is a all-white church, right? So, you know, it's just those things that my mom brought me up in to culturize me.
Well, I want to go back to something that you said previous. I want to back up a little bit. And it's something that I've had other candidates on, representing other districts, members at large, going after those seats. The common theme, and especially last week during the mayoral debate for the city of Wilmington, was these vacant homes. Do you believe, and I'm asking you, to be as candid as you possibly can, do you believe that there is equity in the dissemination of these homes to the community and the process through the land grant program that's set up here?
Okay, so yes, and I have to say this. So, and I know a lot of people thought about this one particular bill like it was, what is it called? Not gentrification, when they take your homes from you or something. I forget what the name of the bill is. But they thought it was to take houses away from homeowners or people that lived in their homes. But it was really to get these vacant properties that these landlords were not taken care of, or these properties might have been tied up or whatever, or they might have just been vacant for years, right? So I get it. It didn't work. That's fine. However, we still have the issue. So my thing is, I'm working with the Wilmington Land Bank, and working with Black developers, Black minority developers. I have implemented the Lower Hilltop Initiative. So in the Lower Hilltop, we have renovated maybe 60 homes, and 45 of them have been renovated, and we have first-time home buyers in these houses. So it does work. It's all about relationships, it's all about partnership, and it's all about showing people that this can be done. Yes, it does cost money, and it does take some money, right? But how do you rebuild a community if you can't build it back block by block? And that's my goal. You build a community back block by block. Once you do one block, you move to the next one. And whoever comes in to invest into your community, they have to have a relationship. It is a must that they have a relationship with the representative, the civic association, and those constituents that live right next door to wherever they're working at, right? And then my thing is, I just encourage them to consistently work with me and the constituents to see how we can better the block, not just the home that you renovated, but the entire block. So when you come in as a developer, you're not just investing in your property, you're investing in that whole block. And I work with them, if it needs funds or whatever, we work together to make sure that block is completely done so we can move to the next one. And that's how you build communities back.
Right. So you feel that the land bank program is going well?
It is. This is a pilot program.
And so do you see the improvement in your areas within your districts because of this program?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hands down. We've had the governor there. We had the lieutenant governor there. We had state representatives, state senators. We've had WISFIS there. We've had Christiana Care there. We've had M&T there. I could, we had some Hispanic organizations come through, right? So this is real. This is happening. So if we can do it here, which is the pilot program, we can do it throughout the city of Wilmington. It's just, just like they're doing over the north side or the east side with that revitalization program. However, this is just a little bit different.
Okay. Let me talk to you about another hot topic that is going on, that was brought up, during the mayoral debates over the past week. And I think it's effective for you and your stance, because I know it affects your community as well. And that's policing, community or otherwise, ensuring that representatives, constituents within your area feel comfortable with the police. And I don't mean they have to be chummy with the police,
right, absolutely.
But they should feel comfortable enough that, hey, I can pick up the phone, call 911, and feel as though I'm being well represented, not feeling threatened by the person there that's supposed to give ease to the situation, but rebuilding that alone as a relationship within the community. The persons that are normally pivotal in regards to that start at the district level and the district leadership level, and that's you.
Absolutely.
Are you finding that there is improvement, regardless of tenure of who's the chief? But let's put and say 2020, since the Floyd incident, are you finding improvement with police relations in the city of Wilmington within your district?
Within my district, I will say yes. And again, I will say it hand over hand. You have to build those relationships. I am a councilwoman. My name, you call me Councilwoman Bregetta Fields, the Honorable Bregetta Fields, Representative Bregetta Fields. But at the end of the day, my name is Bregetta Fields. So that means I have to develop a relationship with the chief, the sector captains, the officers, and the community engagement officers, right? And we have to make sure that we ask them to come to the civic association meetings, so they can develop a relationship with those members that come, those community members that come to those meetings. I can say, for the 16th sector, which is Western City, Trinity Vicinity, Quaker Hill, the crime rate has gone down from 2020 to 24. It has gone down 47%. That's like overall crimes. Yes, 47. You will see I have a lit piece coming out, and we will say in the other sector, which is 18. So that's the Lower Hilltop. That's Tilton Park, Cool Springs, and Tupelo, Italy. That has gone down, I want to say 50 some, I can't because I don't have it right with me, but 50 some percent, right? And that all comes from us being able to talk to those police officers, us being able to text them and say, hey, Captain Rosario, somebody left a car here for a few days. Can you come look at it? That part. If they're on their Facebook, like Cool Springs, Tilton Park, they're really good for getting on Facebook and saying, hey, I have this problem. And they will tag me, right? They will tag me. So somebody.
It's effective.
Yeah,
That's their way of
communicating. It's very effective.
It's effective.
And they'll inbox me. And they'll say, hey, this is going on. It's been going on for a couple of days. We called 311. Nobody responded. I said, well, give me your reference number. They give me the reference number. I send emails. And when I send an email, trust me, I put everybody on there because I want everybody to understand, like, this is important. So it's just those working relationships and actually giving the constituents the accountability, because I don't live in your neighborhood, right?
So you need to dial 311, get that number set aside to your case, so I can start the ball moving. You have to own some of this.
You have to help me because I don't live there. I live on the west side, in West Center City, right? So you may live on Franklin or Clayton. I don't live in your neighborhood. I don't frequent your neighborhood. So the only way that I'll know what's going on is that communication that we have. So as far as, just community safety as well and just public safety altogether, the numbers have come down. No, they're not perfect, but it has begun with the relationships. And I think the community, they see that if I go to the community meetings or I go to the civic association meetings, the police officers are there. So I can give them the streets, the addresses, what's going on, what I see, and they do address it. And they'll either let them know or they'll email me and let me know. But,
But again, from a relationship standpoint, in tougher situations than abandoned cars, are you finding that the relationship with police and your constituents within your district is improving since 2020.
Yes, very much so.
Do you believe that that relationship has a strict correlation with the crime rate decreasing?
I do.
How so?
Because they see them, they know that whatever they say to them is just from, just to them. It doesn't get out who said what's going on. And they might just say, yo, keep your eye open. You get what I'm saying? Excuse me, my language. But, that's what they say. They say, you might want to pay attention, or we're having problems with a lot of people hanging on the corner. Those are the things that they tend to do. And the officers, they get out the cars. They talk to the guys. They talk to the young men, young women. They talk to the addicts out there. I had officer, he's a community engagement officer, Chris Petrucci. So he handles West Street, 7th and West. So have you been down 7th and West before?
I have not.
Okay. So you have 7th and West, right? And so you have abandoned buildings. You have the Wilmington Alliance has a park there. Then you have a couple of bodegos. Then you have some apartments, that frequent a lot of people, right? And you have people that's on substance abuse, mental health issues, and he's out there. He sits right there, and they talk to him. And they know that he's there to protect them as well as help them, not say you're doing bad. You know what I mean? If he sees something, here's the thing, they respect them being there. I'll say that. Now, when they leave, that's something different because they don't know. But they're there. And Chris even called, one day I was riding past, somebody had passed out from an overdose. He had the Narcan. Gave it to him.
While we're there, we're talking about Narcan. We're talking about substance abuse in your district. Do you feel that your district is getting adequate support from the state and other agencies in regards to supporting those with opioid addictions?
They're working.
That's a very political answer.
They're working.
I'll ask you again. Do you feel that you are getting adequate support from state and local government in regards to opioid addicted constituents?
I will say that the agencies that they send out to the areas, to 7.5 Street and Carpenter Street and Adams Street, they do the best that they can with what they have. I do believe that, working closely with those state representatives for that particular area would definitely benefit more. I think it's more conversations that need to be had. I do know if I call DHSS, if I call, what is his name? Daniel. If I call Daniel, I say, hey, Daniel, Councilwoman Fields here. I know the truck was out here earlier. Can you send them back? Because I see a lot of people on 7.5 Street. Maybe an hour or two, somebody's back out there. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's those relationships. But to have the relationships, so if city council could have that relationship with their state representatives and state senators to work together to deal with this issue, it may come down a little bit more.
So you don't feel that that's happening now? It could be better.
It could be better. I will say that it could be better, but nobody's perfect, right? This is my first term. So I still had to learn a lot with what's going on in the district, what the city handles and what the state handles. So a lot of people, and if you don't mind me just saying this, a lot of people seem to believe the city of Wilmington or your city council person can help you pay your rent, can help you pay your electric, we can help you pay just certain things, or we can help move you from one place to another place. The city of Wilmington, in the charter, we are here to pass legislation and ordinances that benefit the city of Wilmington and pass a balanced budget. We have no jurisdiction over housing, education, and health. So when people seem to believe like, oh, we can call them, or why are you not helping her? We don't see you, because that's not what we do. However, we will advocate for you, and we will call our state senators and our state representatives to see how they can help us with you. But then they seem to think that we're passing the buck. It's not a buck that we're passing. It's just out of our jurisdiction. We just don't have no control over that. And I think that's hard. Sometimes it's hard for our community.
Especially when it's lives at stake.
Yes, absolutely.
We're dealing with addicted people. We're dealing with an epidemic that has faced this country for almost 2 decades now, opioid addiction. And it is still decimating communities.
Yes.
So I feel as though regardless, and I believe, and I truly believe, and I can't say this about every politician that comes onto the show, but Ms. Fields, I believe that when you say I'm doing all that I can, I truly believe that you are doing all that you can.
Thank
and
you.
I truly believe that some of these matters, your hands are tied.
Very much so. We have an influx of homelessness right on Adams Street, where the Peconi apartments and all that stuff was. They're right there on Adams Street when people are coming down from Cool Springs and Tilton Park, and they're coming down 9th Street to merge onto I-95. And so, they see them, so they put a big post up. What are you going to do about the homelessness? So, I wrote them a letter, and I told everybody, hey, listen, just what I told you. I will work with everyone, but this is really not into my jurisdiction. I understand. I see it. I have family members that are on Carpenter Street, on Madison Street. You understand? On Adams Street. I have that. So it's not that I don't see it. But when it becomes not my neighborhood, then that's when me, as the lifelong resident of West Center City, say we have to do better as a community, not just the people. Right. And so what you see on one side is really happening on the other side, but more intense. But when you see it and it's in your neighborhood, it becomes like a major thing to do. But I have to let people understand, people are dying in West Center City and in the Lower Hilltop from these overdoses. They're just seeing people panhandle and are homeless.
But they're not seeing the end product.
But they're not seeing the end, right? And so sometimes it's very hard. But for me, to educate the community is key for me. And I'm not the dictionary or the thesauruses or anything like that. But what I see and what I have lived all my life. And the thing about it is I seen where the 5th District was when I was younger, how it thrived. I seen where we're at now, and I know where we can go in the next 4-8 years.
Let's talk about that in closing here. Your goals.
My goals.
Your goals, if elected for the 5th District councilperson seat, what are your goals to bring the 5th District better than where it is right now?
Okay, so I will be reelected, and we will be completing up the Helen Chambers Park in West Center City. We started the project probably a couple of months ago. We'll be finishing up. I secured another $300,000 in the bond bill for the renovation of the grass part of the park. So that has to be done, right? Something that hasn't been done in over 20 years. So that was something that I worked on, and it still has to continue. I still have to continue working on cleaning up the streets, 7.5 Street, Carpenter Street. But again, like you said, I still need those other key players to help me. I have identified them. Now we need to just come up with the plan. And the churches around there are willing to help, right? So it's just moving forward with what I already have in place. So that's what I tell a lot of people. There's a plan, and we got to keep moving. You see the progression. We can't stop the progression right here. We have to keep going. The Rodney Reservoir, yes, the mayor did demolish it. People mistook what he was doing with the Rodney Reservoir and say he was developing. That was never the point. The point was to demolish it because it was hazardous. So with that, me, the mayor, the administration, Chris Johnson, James Spadola, we got together, we talked to the mayor, we talked to the constituents up there that lived in that area and said, we're going to have a commission forum where we nominate constituents from that area to sit on the board to help figure out what we should do with the Rodney Reservoir. So now we have the Rodney Reservoir Park coming. I have, along with the administration, have secured $2 million in the bond bill just to rebuild the Rodney Reservoir.
Outstanding.
Right? I completed Tilton Park, but that's done. They asked me to do it. It was done in my first year. We just had a ribbon cutting last year, but it was done in my first year. Again, housing. I have housing forums coming up this Saturday, the 24th, and then I have another one coming up on the 26th. The one on 24th is with NACA at William Hicks Anderson Community Center, and that's from 10 to 2. And then the one on Monday is with what is it called? Stepping Stones, and Scenair and people like that. I will send a flyer over, and I'll post it on my page. But they are actually getting people to come in. If you have $1,000 in your bank account, if you have a 620 credit score, they will be, and we have realtors there, and they will be ready to put you in the house.
Say that one more time.
If you have $1,000 in your bank account that you can show, and you have a 620 or above, we have realtors there that are ready to put you in a house.
So where can people find out about this program?
I will definitely put it on my page. They can go on Scenair's page. They can reach out to my office and find out, or they can email me, but I'll send it over to DETV so that you guys can have it.
We'd love to do that.
Like, that's my key. Again, I tell our people, hey, if you can rent an apartment for $1,400, $1,500, $1,600, $1,800, I said, you could put that towards a mortgage, right? Mm-hmm. I said, but you have to learn how to save, and you have to understand that you're leaving generational wealth for your family, for your kids. And that is the key. You may not want to stay there after 5 years, but you've built that equity up in that home to where you can pass this on to your kids.
It's something that's yours.
Yeah, it's yours.
And you are there for the community, Ms. Fields. Thank you so much for joining us this week on the agenda. We hope and pray that it is not your last time here on the agenda, and that you come back and you talk about all the great things that are going on in your district. Within 20 seconds, tell people why they need to vote for you.
Why they need to vote for me? Because I'm just moving the 5th District forward. I'm not slowing down. I'm building partnerships. I have developed partnerships. I care about my community because I am the community, and I am of the community. So I see what we reach, what we handle day to day. I'm not just somewhere just sitting there and just focusing on one particular neighborhood. I focus on the entire district, and they know that I'm hands-on, and I don't play any games when it comes to my constituents, dealing with anything when it comes to the business of them. And I focus on the 5th District. It's key. Born and raised.
You've heard it here. Ms. Bregetta Fields, that she rolls up her sleeves, she gets it done for her district, and she is making sure that your issues are being heard, not only out there in her district, but right here on the agenda. We look forward to seeing you next week right here on DETV's The Agenda.